Hello everybody, my name is Harold Games and I'm here with another non-gaming video. Now, as you can see in front of me, I have a tier list, and this tier list is basically my predictions for every single MLB team and where they will place in the standings at the end of the season. I would love if I can remember after the regular season to come back to this video and see what happened during the regular season. But for now, it's time to make some predictions. Now, I have an article off screen uh, that has every single division, every single team, and an off-season grade. I'm not really gonna take the grade factor and play. I don't know. Just try and I'm not going to take the grade and have that impact my decision as much on my opinion on what the team is going to do. Obviously, if the good team has a good grade, I'm not going to really look at the grade. I know that's a good team and that where they're going to place, but the grades that I'm using are from The Athletic. This is an article that came out a few days ago, I think a week ago, but we list every single team. And right now we're going to be starting off with the New York Mets, and we're just going to work our way through each grade. These are graded from highest to lowest, so we're going to be starting from A's and then go to F's, but I'm still going to give my opinion on the team. Because I know the White Sox are graded an F, but I don't think they're going to be a terrible team. So, we'll talk about teams. And like I said, we're not gonna have the grade impact my decision as much. But let's take a look at the Mets. They got a couple good arms to replace Jacob deGrom with Justin Verlander. I mean, you're replacing one Cy Young candidate with another Cy Young candidate. They end up extending Edwin Diaz, Brandon Nimmo, and Adam Ottavino. So they rebuilt their pitching staff quite a bit. They got improvement, and really, I don't think they're done spending yet. I still think they could get another bat. Obviously, they're going to be the first team on the tier list, but I think they will finish in first place in the NL East, even though the Braves are a good team. Next, and by the way, the Mets were graded A minus. Next will be the Phillies, also graded A minus. They got Trey Turner, huge $300 million contract. They also added Taijuan Walker, Craig Kimbrell, Gregory Soto, and Matt Strahm. Two relievers that could play a huge impact. That could be a huge impact with them. A good starter, and Matt Strahm, I believe he's a starter reliever mix. I believe he's more of a reliever now. I think the NL East is the best division in the league. That is my opinion, because you got three juggernaut teams that could all win 100 games in the NL. And then you have the Marlins that also could be a factor in with the team. But I think Philly will finish behind the Mets. Whether or not injuries hurts them, I don't know. We will see. We got to remember they also have Bryce Harper. They have Aaron Nola. They have a good team. I still think they will finish behind the Mets, but I think they will have a great playoff run. Next, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Like I said, we're going based off of grades. I'm reading an article based off of highest grade. The lowest grade, next grade is the Texas Rangers. They were rated an A minus grade. They signed Jacob deGrom, Cy Young winner, to a 5-year deal, I believe. Andrew Heaney, Nate Eovaldi, Jake Odorizzi, via trade. And then they didn't really add anything bullpen wise. They have some bats. They have Marcus Semien and Corey Seager. They had a good offseason, but I still think they're missing some pieces along the way. They're going to be the first team up on the board, but I believe they're probably going to finish third in the division, maybe second, depending on how the Angels do. But it depends on how injuries work as well for opposing teams. But I think Rangers will probably finish third. Next, we have the Angels. They were graded a B plus. So they addressed some of their needs. They got a corner outfielder, Hunter Renfroe. They got some relievers. They got Anthony Rendon. If he could stay healthy, he could be a big problem for opposing pitchers. They also got Gio Urshela and Brandon Drury. So those are two. Drury is a great pickup, and Urshela could be a great pickup for them. They signed Tyler Anderson, and we will see what happens with them. I believe if Mike Trout stays healthy, if Anthony Rendon stays healthy, if their bullpen has a top 5 American League ranking, and if their pitching has a top 7 American League ranking, I think they could have a great season. I predict they will finish above the Rangers. Whether that's second, I don't know. We will have to see. Atlanta Braves, like I said, we're going to be going around. This is based off of grades. They got graded a B plus. They traded for Sean Murphy, a Gold Glove catcher, and extended him for 6 years, $73 million. They also have a ton of quality players in Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Spencer Strider has come up ranks pretty well. Travis d'Arnaud is also still with the team, but they lost Dansby Swanson. And they have a couple of backups, Vaughn Grissom and Orlando Arcia, but those are not great replacements. Freddie Freeman isn't there. He's with the Dodgers. So, I mean, it's a tough team, in my opinion, to decide on. But as of right now, because their pitching is still great, I think they will finish above the Phillies, but they will finish behind the Mets. That is my opinion for the team. Alrighty, next is the Diamondbacks, B plus. One thing to note with the Diamondbacks, even though they actually got some veteran pieces. Evan Longoria. They also traded for Kyle Lewis, I believe, 2020 Rookie of the Year over Luis Robert. They traded Dalton Varsho for Blue Jays catching prospect Gabriel Moreno and veteran outfielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. So they made some moves, but their pitching is still a concern. And because of their pitching being a concern, with no other teams on board, I think they're going to finish 4th. But with no other teams on the board, they're going to be first right now, but they're going to finish 4th. Minnesota Twins, they re-signed Carlos Correa. They also signed Christian Vasquez. And then they also signed Joey Gallo, a power bat. They also added Michael A. Taylor, Kyle Farmer. They traded for Pablo Lopez. But part of the way with Luis Arraez, I don't understand that move in my opinion. Their bullpen is also a little weak still. But I think that trade for a perennial 300 hitter for a pitcher who might not be quality for you is going to hurt you. I believe the Twins are going to finish 3rd place in the division. But I think they'll win 75 to 80 games. Blue Jays B plus grade. They got some trades. They got Dalton Varsho. Really good team. Nothing much else to say. I think they will once again be a juggernaut in the AL East. I think they will finish 2nd or tied for 2nd or 3rd in the division. Just my opinion. Houston Astros. As a White Sox fan, it pains to say they signed Jose Abreu to a 3-year deal. They got they have a great rotation. They lost Justin Verlander, but still, this is a good team. And I really think they will have another great AL West season with an AL West banner. They will finish ahead of the Angels and Rangers. So that AL West is locked right now. and we can might as well throw up Oakland. Or hold on, we'll wait for Oakland, but that's my lock to win the AL West division. And my lock to win the NL East division is the Mets. So I have the Astros and the Mets winning their divisions, respectively. San Diego Padres is next. They got Xander Bogaerts. His team just seems unstoppable. Signed him to an 11-year contract. They also got Robert Suarez, Nick Martinez. They brought Seth Lugo and Matt Carpenter, two veterans. They also signed Nelson Cruz. And with Fernando Tatis Jr. coming off a suspension, this team is going to be huge. And I think this will be one of the best teams in the league. They will definitely finish ahead of the Diamondbacks pretty easily by probably 30 games. I think they're 107 to 110 win team. Next, take a look at Cleveland Guardians. They upgraded first base designated hitter spots with Josh Bell and Mike Zunino, some two good power bats. And they're a prospect team. They're a team that can, led by the right man, Tito, he will lead them to some good things. I believe they will finish ahead of the Twins by about 10 to 15 games. I think they'll win 86 or I think they'll win 90 to 94 games this season. That's just my opinion. Pittsburgh Pirates. I feel bad for Pirates fans. I just don't see much good for them. I mean, they brought back Andrew McCutchen. They signed Rich Hill, Austin Hedges, Carlos Santana, Vince Velasquez, Yarlin Garcia. I mean, it's just a veteran team that if they all work out, this team could win 75, 80 games, but their pitching is not good enough to do anything. They also traded for G-Man Choi, and I don't even know why they traded for him. They also swapped Kevin Newman for Dari Moreta. I mean, I don't really see much success. I think they'll win 75 games a season, but at most. But again, expect them to finish last in the division. I have them locked as last in the division. Next, Chicago Cubs. Hate to say, as a White Sox fan, they spent a lot of money. Over $300 million. They picked up quite a few guys like Dansby Swanson, Jamison Tyone, Trey Mancini, Eric Hosmer, Cody Bellinger. Just solid offseason for the Cubs. Surprisingly got graded a B, which I don't understand why, but they still have some bullpen issues. They have a good rotation now with, if they stay healthy, Marcus Stroman, Kyle Hendricks, and Jamison Tyone. Alec Mills is a guy, and then Justin Steele. I don't know if he's going to get starting nod for them at the back end, but it's a good rotation. It's a solid rotation. It's a rotation that I think will get him wins, but that bullpen is a little bit concerning. I think they'll win 85 games this season. They'll finish definitely well ahead of the Pirates, but it will be interesting to see how they do. Next, New York Yankees. They got graded a B again. I don't understand why. They brought back Aaron Judge. He bet on himself and he broke the home run record by a Yankee. If I said that wrong, then it's my fault. They brought back Anthony Rizzo. They signed Carlos Rodon and brought back Tommy Kahnle. So, and they're better, but I don't know if they're going to be the most dominant team. Again, they're relying on their pitching and bullpen to stay strong. They don't have Aroldis Chapman, which I think is actually going to be a positive for them. They're going to finish ahead of the Blue Jays, but I think I'm going to have them as a lock for the AL East division winner, but got to watch out for those struggles. So right now, I have the Yankees, Astros, and Mets as my locks for to win the division, and I'm certain they will win. Cubs, Padres, some moves, some good. I think they're a move away. The Cubs are a move or two away Padres, I think it's just going to be a juggernaut or it's just going to be a season. It's just going to be them against the Dodgers. Go to the Rays. They were active in minor leagues signings. They signed Zach Eflin to the biggest contract in their history. They got graded a B. I mean, they have a good team pitching wise. They're always a team that will compete. But I don't know how much they've improved besides a year, an off season of development. I have them as third behind the Blue Jays. So I know earlier I believe I said Toronto might finish third, but that was a mistake. Those are my locked top three: Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays. Next is the Royals. They did some moves. They replaced Dayton Moore, their president, with JJ Piccolo. They also hired Matt Quatraro from Tampa Bay. They also hired a new pitching coach, Brian Sweeney from Cleveland. New assistant pitching coach, Zach Bove. They've made a lot of organizational moves, so they're trying to get back to that point where they were about 8-9 years ago. They also signed Jordan Lyles, Ryan Yarbrough, and Aroldis Chapman. They traded Michael A. Taylor to Minnesota and Adalberto Mondesi to Boston. And I'm pretty sure they're looking to get rid of Nicky Lopez, which I don't understand. I think, once again, it's going to be an unfortunate year for the Royals. They will definitely finish last in this division, in my opinion. Definitely behind the Twins. I think they'll win about 65, 70 games at most. Next, we have the Seattle Mariners. They got Teoscar Hernandez, Colton Wong for outfield and second baseman help. Other than that, they really didn't do much. Pitching is good. Their bullpen is okay. I think, once again, it's going to be a fight out in the AL West, but I believe Seattle is going to finish ahead of the Angels. So these are my top four locks. Rangers, like I said, they made some moves, but I don't think they're good enough yet offensively and bullpen wise to get a good jump. Washington Nationals, I don't think we're gonna see Washington be at the top of the division for the next 4 or 5 years. They're in a rebuild. Don't understand them trading away Juan Soto. I know he really don't like their contracts. That was a mistake, though, in my opinion. They picked up Jeter Downs and AJ Alexi. They also got Driver Candelario and Dominic Smith. Got someone named Stone Garrett. They also have C.J. Abrams and another prospect they got for Juan Soto. I can't remember who exactly, but you're going to see them as a bottom feeder in NL East and in the league overall. I predict them to finish probably last in the entire league. In my opinion, definitely last in the NL East. Next, Cincinnati Reds, another team. I mean, you're really not going to see them do much. They got Will Myers, which he'll probably hit some home runs. They traded Kyle Farmer and traded for Kevin Newman. They cut the payroll. So they have Luke Maile and Kirk Casale. Tyler Stevenson, Luke Weaver was a rotational ad. I think they're going to be battling with Washington for Tankathon wise, but yeah. I think combined, Washington and the Reds will win 105 games combined. But yeah, they're last in NL Central. That is my pick. Baltimore Orioles. This was a good team last year. Brandon Hyde had a heck of a season. But it's one of those teams that I think are going to fall off again. We see this a lot with good young teams. They get really good, but it's their manager that holds them back. I don't think Brandon Hyde is the manager for the Orioles, and also they didn't do much They replaced Jordan Lyles with Kyle Gibson, Robinson Chirinos with James McCann, Reno Odor with Adam Frazier. They also brought back Michael Givens. They traded for Cole, Irvin, and John Means. He'll return this summer. But we'll see how their prospects work out. If their prospects can really be on fire, I think they will have a good season, but they're going to finish behind Tampa Bay and last in the AL, or not last in the AL East. That is another team I'm going to talk about. Next, we had the Cardinals. Underwhelming offseason for them. They got a C plus in their grade. They have Nolan Arenado, and they also brought back Adam Wainwright. They also signed Wilson Contreras, so that is a battery made for Adam Wainwright as Yadier Molina is retired. I think they're going to finish behind the Cubs, but ahead of the Pirates and Reds substantial or pretty well, probably about 7 or 8 games. So that is so far that. Milwaukee Brewers C plus. They got some good trades. They got William Contreras via trade. They also replaced Hunter Renfroe with Jesse Winker. They brought back Brian Anderson and Wade Miley via free agent signings. Some pitching wise, their bullpen is good. I think they're going to win the division, but I think they will win the division by 2 or 3 games, and they will only win 92 or 93 games. So this is my first division that is completely locked. So the NL Central, I have Brewers, Cubs fighting for the top. Then the Cardinals could make a run, but I think they're going to finish in third. And then the Pirates and Reds fighting for last. That is my NL Central predictions. Oakland Athletics, I mean, they're going to finish last, and they're going to definitely finish last. That is, I think they got a C plus. Got some prospects on the Sean Murphy trade: Esteury Ruiz, Kyle Muller, Freddie Tarnok, Jace Peterson, Aldemez Diaz, Drew Wyszynski, Trevor May. I love watching him. Jesus Aguilar. They also got Shintaro Fujinami from Japan. So we will see how he does. I mean, they could win 70 games, but they're not a team that's going to be in position to win for a while. So those are 2 divisions that are completely locked. I have Houston over Seattle, and I expect Houston and Seattle to really fight for that divisional spot. And then Angels and Rangers will be very close at 3rd and 4th, respectively. And then Oakland's just going to be a team to beat on for 18 games. Miami Marlins, they traded for Luis Arias, which I think was a good trade. But they gave up Pablo Lopez and Jose Salas, huge prospect. They I think they're going to be putting Jazz Chisholm in center field, but I believe Miami will finish in last place. Or not in last place, sorry. Head of the Nationals, but second to last place. So that is my NL East divisional lock. I think, once again, these 3 teams are probably going to be within 3 games of each other combined. I think it's going to be Mets and then a half game behind the Braves and game and a half behind, or 2.5 behind Phillies. Miami's probably going to win 75, 80 games, and Washington be a worst team in the league. That's just my opinion. San Francisco Giants. Last year they had a great offseason. They had Jack Peterson. They added Mitch Haniger and Michael Conforto to their outfield. They have a deep rotation, but they lost some veterans. Now, if they would have signed Aaron Judge, and they signed Carlos Correa, but his physical had issues. But I think they could be a team to watch out. They're going to finish about the Diamondbacks, but I don't think they're going to come anywhere close to the Diamondbacks in terms of standings. Then we have the Dodgers. Really didn't do much in offseason, but they're still a team that will dominate. Although they did lose Trey Turner, So, and they lost Cody Bellinger. I still think them and San Diego will fight it out, and I think uh, the Dodgers will be above San Diego. Detroit Tigers got Michael Lorenzen, Matthew Boyd. They acquired Nick Maton and Matt Vierling. Haven't done much at third base. They really haven't done much in offseason. They're going to finish behind the Royals. So that is my decision. Boston Red Sox. They extended Rafi Devers. They replaced JD Martinez. They signed corner outfielders. But pitching is an issue, especially with injuries. They lost Sander Bogarts. Travis Story could be an injury-prone guy. But they signed Adam Duvall. They traded for Adalberto Mondesi. I think there will be an okay team, but they're not going to be a winning team, which I want this like that. So that is my lock for the AL East: Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays, Orioles, and Red Sox. Those are my teams. We just have two more teams left. And the Colorado Rockies. Not much else to say. We will see how they do. Jose Urena is going to be a starter, a main starter for them. I mean, not much you could say for Colorado. See how Chris Bryant does with a full season, but I don't think they're gonna do well. It's gonna be these three, and then these two are gonna be fighting for 70 wins at most. And the White Sox graded F in the off season, but I want to say some things. They filled their outfield need with Andrew Benintendi. I'm not going to mention his name, but they should release him with his allegations. I don't feel like his name deserves to be mentioned. They should release him. They traded for a guy who played with Toronto. I forgot his name. He could be a minor league guy. They brought back Billy Hamilton for a minor league deal. They should have Oscar Colas up in right field, and Eloy Jimenez should be playing designated hitter. They got to get a new head coach. We will see what happens, but I think my White Sox, and I'm biased, but I truly think the White Sox will win the division. There, that is my prediction. I think it will be a dogfight, though. No, they will not run away with the division. It will not be easy. That is my opinion. But yeah, so these are my standings. Whoever watches this video, let me know your predictions in the standings. It's pretty much similar to the 2021 season, but I mean, and I think this is going to be it. You have your usual bottom feeders, then you have your usual contenders, then you have potential surprises, which could happen. Once again, I'm going to briefly go over it. Yankees, White Sox, Astros, Mets, Brewers, and Dodgers will be your divisional winners. The divisions that I think will be hardest to win will be the NL East for the National League, and then the AL West, respectively, for the American League, because you never know how these first four teams could play. We know these two teams will be tough. We know the Rays will be decent, but I don't think the Orioles or Red Sox will have much of an impact. So I think the NL East and the AL West will be the two toughest divisions in the entire MLB. So that's my predictions. Too early to call a World Series, but if the White Sox aren't good, I want the Astros to win because I want Jose Abreu to get a ring. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. This was probably a long video. I ramble quite a bit, but yeah. One thing before I end the video, I want to say that I am planning, and I mentioned this in a tweet for those who follow me, which is only 3, that I want after this week, because I've been busy with school, and I saw my parents and family for the first time in a month today. Otherwise, I would have probably streamed today. But I have some exams coming up that I want to really focus on. So yeah, that's where my attention is going to be for this week. But this next weekend, I will make sure to look at potentially streaming 2 to 3 episodes of the Arizona Diamondback series. I really want to get through this rebuild before MLB 23 comes out. That is my goal, and I'm only aiming for one championship if we cannot repeat. If we can't repeat, then that'll probably be the end of the series. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you watch this, your predictions. Again, these are my predictions, my opinions. If you have a disagreement, I'm all for it. Just don't berate me in the comments. Just my opinion. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, take care, and peace.